wonderful Simon on the spot. When are they going to adapt this wonderful memoir, that you call it, into the next Cheryl Strayed movie?
You know, right after
Because this is more impressive than Cheryl's trek.
No, her trek was very impressive.
It is very
But hers
impressive.
was more of an inner journey. The actual exterior journey, you could say, and you know, who am I to say? I haven't walked the Pacific Coast Trail. I'm sure it's grueling, but many people have. But her inner journey was tender, and it was revealing, and it was unique to her. So I'm not going to compare myself to anybody's journey. But I must say that right when the swim ended, Hollywood came knocking, and I was running in the other direction. In my 20s, when I had my first sort of bout with people interested in my story, I was 25 years old here. They flew me out to Hollywood. I sat around a big conference table, and I was invisible. They were all talking, and they were making up new stories. They were saying, you know, she had a brother and a sister, right? But we can cast, what's his name? Let's make it two brothers. You know, and I was just horrified. And at the end of an hour of this, them all talking amongst themselves, they said, well, Diana, do you have any questions? I said, yeah. What's the first flight back to New York? You know, but this time, Hollywood came knocking right after the swim, and I asked my agents, and my book agent at CAA, Simon Greens here, has been so supportive through this whole thing, Simon. And I asked Simon and the lecture agent and all the people at Creative Artists to give me a chance to write this book. Let me tell my story in my words. I don't know if you saw the documentary film. Well, you know, it's beautiful. It's poignant. It's dramatic. It's not necessarily the way I see myself or the way I tell my story. It's just always going to be true if you let somebody else tell your story in whatever format. And before Hollywood started on this process, I asked politely, and they could have made it, you know, you can't keep anybody from writing a book on you or making a film on you, but they have waited, and just now I'm meeting with all of them. And maybe I'm crazy, maybe I can't do it, I'm not a screenwriter, it's not my genre, but they want me to adapt the book into screenplay. And so now I'm thinking with due respect and a sense of superiority complex combined that I can do that. And they've talked about people, you know, you never know what's going to happen, but they've talked about Sandra Bullock and Charlize Theron, and they think it's going to be a big, attractive, award-winning role. So
release date of December 2017 for the award season.
But let's just say it's in the works, and I've garnered more respect for them now that I've met with them, those Hollywood people.